A shooting inside Walmart, a pedestrian is struck and killed, and Montgomery County mourns the loss of a deputy. All this plus sports, weather, and more. APSU-TV News starts right now. Welcome to your APSU-TV News Weekend Update.
It's Friday, February 7th, 2020.
I'm Meghann Stamps.
And I'm Sydney Hawkins.
Memphis police are searching for the suspect who opened fire inside of a Hickory Hill Walmart Tuesday evening. At one point, authorities detained and eventually released a man who was not involved with the incident. Janice Broach reports.
They say I fit the description.
He is described as a man in his early 40s, average build, wearing a black and brown jacket, balding on the top, with long dread braids in the back.
And this man, who understandably did not want to give me his name, fit that description, balding with long dreads, found himself surrounded by Memphis police officers at an extended stay hotel on American Way.
They told me to come here, get out my truck. They pat me down and just put me in the back seat.
The man said he was at the extended stay to pick up a friend. Police asked for a photo of the suspect. Officers realized they had the wrong man. This is a surveillance photo of the suspect in the Walmart shooting. You can see he's not the man in the truck. There's also surveillance video showing shots being fired inside that Hickory Hill Walmart Tuesday night after an argument near the check-cashing customer service area. Police showed up in force in response to what appeared to be an active shooter, and lots of officers showed up on Wednesday when it looked like the suspect was on American Way. In an unusual development, a victim, Vincent Hubbard, who was shot in the leg, was arrested. Police say he gave false information about where he was shot. Police say he told them it happened at a market on Lamar, but it actually happened at the Hickory Hill Walmart. As for the mistaken identity man, he says he has no hard feelings.
It just irritating.
A man driving a pickup truck hit and killed a woman standing in the middle of Tiny Town Road. Clarksville police say it happened just before 8 last Friday night. Medics took the woman to the hospital, although she did not survive her injuries. The driver reportedly told the police he did not see the woman in the road. Officers say Tiny Town Road is not well lit and the woman was not in a crosswalk. It's the second serious accident involving a pedestrian in 2 weeks. No charges have been filed in either cases.
A trail of devastation after a deadly outbreak of storms tears through the South. Marissa does have the latest.
An act of God caught on camera. An uprooted tree slammed onto a car on a busy interstate outside of Atlanta as deadly storms soaked the South. Police say luckily no one was injured.
And I looked out the window and I said, "Oh Lord, they're taking my baby Swing away." He said, "You better get from that window."
In Alabama, one person was killed, another injured after a tornado tore through mobile homes, leaving behind a pile of debris. In Tennessee, a 36-year-old woman was killed when a tree fell on a van carrying 7 people.
We've had a lot of trees on houses.
Oh, it's like being in a war zone.
Torrential rains and destructive winds wreaked havoc across Mississippi, Georgia, and the Carolinas, triggering flash floods like this creek that swelled and burst its banks.
It was a creek. It is now a river that is flowing pretty rapidly, I'd say. This is pretty bad.
A tornado warning sparked an evacuation of the control tower at the Charlotte Douglas International Airport in North Carolina. Debris on the runway shut the airport down for a few hours. And similar severe weather triggered a ground stop at the world's busiest airport in Atlanta. The FAA saying departures were delayed up to 90 minutes. In Atlanta, I'm Melissa Rainey reporting.
A man was found dead in a local donation bin. Police arrived at 3050 Wilma Rudolph Boulevard on Sunday to see his body hanging from the bin. Officers say the man was pronounced dead on the scene and there is no suspicion of foul play. The man's identity has not been released.
Family and friends of a former Montgomery County deputy killed in the line of duty will be honoring her in a special memorial mass tomorrow. Tiffany Enriquez's memorial mass tomorrow morning at 10:30 at Immaculate Conception is open to the public. Enriquez was answering a stabbing call with the Hawaii Police Department when she lost her life last month. She began her law enforcement career with the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office and later relocated to Hawaii. Her co-workers in the Hawaii Police Department say that her outgoing, uplifting attitude will most definitely be missed.
What I'll miss is seeing her around the station and having conversations with her. And we had the same humor, same personality, so she's always fun to talk to. And she's always making sure that I'm doing okay and everything. She's very supportive and always encouraged me. And she's supportive with all her friends. She wants to see everyone do well in their life. And she's always encouraging everyone to be their best, to do their best. And I hope everyone gets to know her now. To live like Tiff, always be your best, do your best.
Tiffany Enriquez was 38 years old when she passed.
A Clarksville woman who had been missing since November has been found safe. The Clarksville Police Department reported Tuesday on their Facebook page, Jennifer Hikes has been located. Hikes was reported missing to the police department January 27th. Her family, however, had not heard from her since a few days before Thanksgiving.
It's the first week of Black History Month, and students are celebrating all month long at the Wilbur and Daniel African American Cultural Center on our campus. The center announced their month-long of events Monday, along with a Black History kickoff luncheon. This month will include lots of interactive lectures, games, and luncheons to remember those who paved the way and contributed to the success of African Americans today. You can get a look at the events on apsu.edu/AACC. Our fellow reporter Angela Peterson got a chance to visit with some students on campus to learn how the month affects them.
Today I'm in the UC talking to students about Black History Month and why it's so important.
I feel like it's important because it's so broad and people don't really understand the true meaning of it. And so having this month, it really brings out the more important and people appreciate it a lot more.
Black culture that goes into sports, it goes into like social media. There's just so many things that influences other cultures, but I just think Black culture is especially important because it has such a deep and rich culture in its own self.
Yeah, I mean, we're always taught the history in high school, and it's always important to remember. So a quote that I always like saying is always important to learn history so it doesn't repeat itself.
When I think of Black history, I essentially just think another aspect of American history. You know, we are all integrated in it. Each has had an impact on the other as far as cultural influences.
It's important to acknowledge that we are human. Everyone is human. We all believe the same.
Celebrating individuals within the Black history is very important so that we can learn about our past, so we can make benefits for our future.
With APSU-TV News, I'm Angela Peterson.
It's not too late to put on your favorite red sweater or shirt. Today is Wear Red Day in Montgomery County. It's all part of the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women campaign. Montgomery County Mayor Jim Durrett presented a Go Red for Women Wear Red Day proclamation on Monday, declaring February 2020 as American Heart Month. All residents are encouraged to wear red and join the American Heart Association in fighting cardiovascular disease and increasing the survival rates of thousands of women each year.
Using a hot meal when you're low on cash or food is sometimes difficult to do, but now you have an option. Manna Cafe Ministries is now serving hot meals to folks in their newly completed refuge building. Volunteers served the first meal last week from the building at 503 D Street. Manna Cafe Ministry says on their Facebook page that their mobile cafe hot meal that used to be served at Liberty Church will now be served at the Refuge Church. To find out more, go to mannacafeministries.com. Now, let's head over to take a look at today's weather. Let's head over to Emily Waldon.
Thanks, Megan. It's definitely been a crazy weather week we've had this week. We've reached temperatures up in the 60s, and then we had flash floods and rain, thunderstorms, and now we're getting snow up in Clarksville. And so everyone that's driving, make sure you're safe on the roads. It's still icy out there. So we're gonna first take a look at our current national temperatures. In New York, we're at 56 degrees. Chicago's at 32 degrees. Atlanta's at 39 degrees. Dallas is at 54 degrees. Denver is at 32 degrees. Los Angeles at 68 degrees. And Seattle is at 50 degrees. Now moving on to today's highs in Tennessee. Clarksville is at 38 degrees. Nashville is at 39 degrees. Memphis is at 46 degrees. Chattanooga is at 40 degrees. And Knoxville is at 38 degrees. For today's lows in Tennessee, Clarksville is at 30 degrees. Nashville is at 31 degrees. Memphis is at 33 degrees. Chattanooga is at 32 degrees. And Knoxville is at 29 degrees. Our current weather is 35 degrees, cloudy, and with winds going west at 11 miles per hour. Tonight's weather will be cloudy and it will be 30 degrees. Winds blowing south at 6 miles per hour, and precipitation is at 10%. Okay, moving on to the 5-day forecast. Friday, expect it to be cloudy with a high of 38 and a low of 30. Saturday, expect it to be partly cloudy with a low of 44 and a high of 44 and a low of 27. Sunday, expect it to be partly cloudy with a high of 62 and a low of 51. Monday, expect to see rain with a high of 54 and a low of 39. And Tuesday, expect to see a few showers with a high of 47 and a low of 36. APSU-TV News will be right back.
You can help support Austin Peay students who don't have enough to eat by donating to the Save Our Students Food Pantry. The Save Our Students Food Pantry is looking for soup, pasta, canned meat, canned beans, peanut butter, and fruit. You can drop off your donations at the food pantry on Home Avenue. It's open Tuesdays through Friday, 8:30 until 4. For more information, call 221-1620, a campus reminder from Austin Peay.
Welcome back to APSU-TV News. I'm Kyren Harvey with your Political Corner. Governor Lee's plan to give state teachers a pay raise of $117 million is the largest pay hike in Tennessee history, but it's not a done deal yet. The governor announced the proposal in his State of the State address Monday. However, the basic education program could stop that from happening. Teachers could only receive a small amount of the 4% raise for the upcoming school year. The Tennessee Education Association, the state teachers union, is also pushing to make sure the raises stay in the budget. TEA officials say last year's plan to give teachers a 2% raise was cut from the budget when corporate excess taxes, a tax on profits, dropped unexpectedly. The bust of a former Confederate general and KKK leader may be up a little while longer at the Tennessee Capitol. This past Tuesday, the Naming, Designating, and Private Acts House Committee voted to place the resolution to remove the bust of Nathan Bedford Forrest on hold until their next meeting. According to the Tennessee Heritage Protection Act, to remove the bust, the Capitol Commission must approve along with the Historical Commission. Tennessee's Capitol Commission meeting is February 20th. The National Predators are partnering with Tennessee State University in a new fundraising campaign. The campaign, $1 million in 1 month, is to fund scholarships and will be held throughout all this month. TSU President Glenda Glover said in a news release, quote, "Many students are not able to complete their degrees because of financial hardship, so these funds are very important." That's all for your Political Corner. APSU-TV News will be right back.
Parked far, far away from your class? Well, you could walk the whole way, or you could use the Peay pickup. It's a free ride around campus for APSU students, faculty, and staff. You can ride the trolley from 7:30 in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. For more information, go to apsu.edu/SGA. A campus and community reminder from the Voice of Austin Peay, Clarksville's 91.9 FM.
Welcome back to APSU-TV News. I'm Dakota Stansfield with your Go Sports. The APSU men's basketball team could not be stopped as they got their 9th straight win this past Thursday. They played SIUE, where they convincingly won 82-58. The Govs had 5 players scoring in double digits, with a lot of them coming from the line, as they were 82% shooting, 23 for 28. The Govs continued their domination this past Saturday when they played Eastern Illinois, beating them 68-64, making them 10-0 in the conference. They came back from a 4-point deficit with 1 minute left on the clock, and a last-minute and one from junior Terry Taylor led the Govs to victory. They went on to play Tennessee State last night. Taylor led the team with 23 points, but it wasn't enough to defeat the Tigers, as they lost by 2 points, 70-68. The Govs play Belmont tomorrow at Belmont. The APSU women's basketball team continues their impressive defensive efforts as they forced 28 turnovers in their win against SIUE this past Saturday, where they came out on top, defeating the Cougars 74-61. The Govs unfortunately couldn't carry this momentum to Saturday night's game as they lost to Eastern Illinois 76-47. However, they brought it back yesterday when they played Tennessee State, defeating them 87-55. Sophomore DeShera Booker led the team with a career-high 15 points. The Lady Govs will stay in Nashville tomorrow to play Belmont. The APSU women's team had a great day this past Saturday as they defended home court, defeating Western Kentucky 5-2. Sophomore Daniel Morris and freshman Jana Leder led the Govs, both finishing with the doubles and singles match win. The Lady Govs head off to Buckeye State this weekend to play Dayton and Wright State. The APSU track and field team had 3 players finish top 6 at the South Alabama Jaguar Invitational this past weekend. Junior Sabrina Richmond finished 4th place in the 200-meter race. Freshman Caroline Shelton finished 5th place in the pole vault, and junior Dania Hill Tate finished 6th place in the high jump. The Govs are resting up this weekend before they head to Birmingham next week to compete in the Bulldog Open. With the forecast calling for rain tomorrow, the APSU softball team's opening game will be pushed back a day. It is now being trimmed to a Sunday doubleheader at Jim Frost Stadium in Chattanooga. And that's all for your Gov Sports. APSU-TV News will be right back.
Well, it's championship night in the OVC from the Ford Center in Evansville, Indiana.
What a night we had. We had Magic Johnson courtside. I cannot wait to get this thing going.
The building should be full. We should have a whole lot of fun here tonight in the Ford Center. This will be the first conference punching a ticket into the big dance.
Did you know that Kentucky is home to nearly 1,000 species of wildlife?
The Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife has a team of scientists dedicated to the monitoring and study of animals that are not hunted, fished, or trapped.
We work every day to improve Kentucky's landscape so that these species can thrive.
And now there's a way for you to jump in and help.
When you become a member of Kentucky Wild, we'll work side by side and do our part to keep Kentucky wild.
We are more than just athletes. We inspire scholars. We inspire leaders. We inspire champions. We inspire family. This is the Ohio Valley Conference.
What about that?
That worked pretty good.
Clarksville Loaves and Fishes has begun a new Blessings Bags program, and they need your help to fuel the giving flames. The Loaves and Fishes provides hot meals for those in need Monday through Saturday. These new blessing bags will give food to those in need on Sundays. A group of volunteers is needed to bring lunch to the Loaves and Fishes kitchen, as well as welcome and pass out lunches. You can visit loavesandfishestn.org to find out more about the Blessings Bag program and how you can serve.
If you're looking for some far-out weekend plans, seeing the Beach Boys live is just the groovy concert you're looking for. Ryman.com says the iconic band will be in Nashville tomorrow night at the Ryman Auditorium itself. The old famous tracks for the Music City, including smash hits like Wouldn't It Be Nice and Surfin' USA. Best of all, with every online ticket that you buy, you'll also get a digital copy of the lead singer Mike Love's new album, 12 Sides, You can visit Ryman.com to buy your ticket today.
National School Choice Week is the world's largest celebration of opportunity in education, according to schoolchoice.com. My lovely co-anchor Sydney got a chance to visit a local school last week to see what exactly that looks like for students and teachers in the Clarksville-Montgomery County school system.
National School Choice Week is a nationally celebrated week of educating students and their parents of their choice of public, private, magnet, charter, online, and homeschooling. I sat down with students at Richview Middle School in the Clarksville-Montgomery County school system to see why they chose to be a Richview Cowboy.
Well, a lot of my friends have either gone to private schooling or to homeschooling, and they talk about how much more isolated it is, and you don't get as much social interaction. And that's kind of why I like public schooling, because they allow you to have that kind of social environment. And this school really has people of different cultures and backgrounds, and it's really cool to get along with different types of people.
The students also informed me of a few activities that are in place which prompt them to stay.
We have like student council programs. It's not like high school, like it's not academies, but it's like a group where you can help with school projects. Like outside of school, you can stay out for meetings and you can help plant like different kinds of plants. You can help with like garbage, and the school dance, you can help prep them. Like you can be the one who actually like does all the decorations for the dance, the concessions.
After talking with the students, I got a chance to talk with an 8th grade teacher who shared why teaching at a public school was the best fit for him.
I gravitated more towards CMCSS and not the private schools and charter schools and all that. A lot of it had to do with the benefits that I knew that I was going to be able to receive. So while the pay might be slightly more, and I could be off on this with public, or private, it's not necessarily the same types of benefits. So healthcare wouldn't necessarily be the same kind of thing. As far as pay increases every year wouldn't be the same thing. There was a lot of things that CMCSS could do that other facilities might not be able to work out.
Before leaving Richview Middle School, I asked Mr. Roberts to share a piece of advice for a teacher who is indecisive on what type of school they would like to provide their services to.
My advice would be know what kind of kids you're comfortable working with.
Sydney Hawkins, APSU-TV News.
Today is the very last chance to apply for a week-long trip in Puerto Rico. You can explore territory all while helping hurricane and earthquake relief. The cost of the trip is $650, which covers all of your transportation, food, and housing. The Puerto Rico trip is coming up this July 18th through the 25th. Apply right now while you can because the deadline is tonight, February 7th. You can get more details about the trip at apsu.edu/volunteer.
The smell of love is in the air, and even better than that, soon the smell of cookies will be. The Adult, Non-Traditional, and Transfer Student Center is hosting a Valentine's Day cookie decorating event as a sugary sweet way to start off your Valentine's Day. You can come to the Ant Center in room 112 of the UC Ballroom to come decorate a free cookie for your Valentine, or if you're like me, you can definitely make an extra one for yourself. Come anytime from noon to 4 in the afternoon on February 14th to come and decorate.
Clarksville Montgomery County Public Library is taking strides to help children learn to read with their 4 Paws for Reading event. The library's Facebook page says they invite children to come practice their reading skills aloud by reading to pet therapy dogs. The first available session begins tomorrow afternoon from 1 until 2 in the afternoon. These fun and furry reading sessions happen again in March, so be sure to check out the library's Facebook page and introduce the little ones in your life to the 4 Paws for Reading experiences.
A fire in a house was brought under control, raising questions until officials checked out the 4-legged security camera cause. Jeremy Roth has today's. Take a look at this.
2 dogs in New Mexico are okay after escaping a fire that officials say one of them caused. The dogs were home alone when surveillance captured one of them knocking over an ironing board. Hey, go ahead! What? Who was that? Time passes, and fire officials say a nearby furnace eventually ignited materials that had toppled over. You can see one of the dogs notice the fire, then take his sweet time fleeing for safety. Both dogs were unharmed, and firefighters were able to limit the damage. They shared the video to warn others to keep combustible items away from furnaces. Well, an Ohio man is now sitting on a collection of kindling after mistakenly receiving 55,000 copies of a letter he was expecting. Dan Kane of Twinsburg called to the local post office to pick up a parcel. Turns out it was 55,000 copies of a statement for his daughter's school loan that the lender had sent in error.
We were like, are you kidding me?
Consider this, if the company used a bulk rate discount of between 18 and 20 cents a letter, it would have cost them up to $11,000 to send the letters. But since the Canes only needed one, the real-world value of this mountain of mail is closer to absolutely worthless. The company admitted fault and has promised to correct the issue. Still, Kane was forced to make 2 trips to take all of this home.
May just start a bonfire, and burn it all.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
And that is all the time that we have for today. Be sure to join us in the interaction by liking us on Facebook at APSU-TV Clarksville.
And Instagram at APSU_TV.
Thanks for watching another edition of your Govs News Weekend Update.
And as always,
let's go Peay!